One way to wire a middle of run receptacle is to connect the incoming black wire to one of the brass terminals on the right side of the receptacle. Then, connect the outgoing black wire to the other brass terminal in this fashion. Now, simply attach the neutral wires, one to the top terminal and the other to the bottom terminal. No matter where you attach the neutral wires, in this case the result is the same. The current will return back to ground. So then, if current were flowing through this circuit, the incoming electricity would arrive at this point and either continue out to a device via a plug in the outlet, like we've already seen, or the electricity will flow across this tab from one terminal post to the other and continue onto other devices down the line. Returning current will arrive back to the receptacle and then return to ground via the returning neutral wire. We still need to properly connect all our ground wires together. We'll get to this in a moment. Before we do, let's take a look at another way to wire a middle of run receptacle. As we've seen before, if current were running through this circuit, it would be delivered to this receptacle via the incoming hot wire. In this example, we'll not connect this hot wire directly to this brass terminal post on the receptacle as you've seen before. Instead, we'll make a 3-wire connection by joining the incoming hot wire directly to the outgoing hot wire. Then we'll connect these 2 wires to the receptacle by using a special 3rd wire known as a pigtail in this fashion. Pigtails are short wires that are often used to connect multiple wires to a single contact, like terminals on receptacles or switches. Always use pigtails instead of connecting multiple wires to a single terminal post. This is a potentially dangerous situation. Instead, connect one end of a pigtail to the terminal screw in the standard fashion, and the other end connect to your home wiring using a twist-on wire connector that binds the wire cluster together to ensure a secure contact. Twist-on wire connectors, commonly called wire nuts, are available in a variety of sizes and are typically made from plastic and have a tapered conducting metal threaded insert on the inside that twists onto wires to hold them tightly together. When you use wire nut connections, strip about 1/2 inch of insulation off the ends of the wires. Depending on the style of connector you're using, you may need to twist your wires firmly together in a clockwise rotation before applying the wire nut. Other wire nuts require that you don't pre-twist the wires before applying. Read the packaging clearly before use to know what variety of wire nut you're using. Finally, to apply, twist the wire nut onto the ends of the wires in a clockwise fashion until the connection is finger tight. Don't over-tighten. Since twist-on connectors come in different sizes, choose the size that best suits the gauge and amount of wires you're using. Again, check your wire connector packaging for exact descriptions and proper uses. Now, going back to the middle of run receptacle we started wiring earlier, the next step would be to connect the white or neutral wires using a pigtail in the same way to a terminal post on the left side of the receptacle. Now, let's see how electricity affects this receptacle. When incoming current comes to this point, it will keep going along this path because there is a constant connection. If there is no plug inserted into the receptacle, the current will bypass it altogether. The current will travel down the line and return on the neutral wire. When there is an electrical device plugged into the receptacle, the current will flow both down the line and also through the electrical device plugged into the receptacle. Returning current will come back to the receptacle through the device's cord and will continue back to the power source through the household's neutral wires in this fashion. Lastly, join your ground wires together. Use a pigtail to connect the ground wires to the grounding terminal on the receptacle. If the receptacle you're using is housed in a metal electrical box, add an additional pigtail to connect all of your ground wires to the side of the metal box. For safety reasons, metal boxes need to be grounded in case a hot wire were to come into contact with any part of the electrical box.